Castor, who's been, we've worked on several issues together on this subcommittee. I enjoyed working with you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman Bilirakis. It has been a pleasure working with you. Congratulations on leading the subcommittee again. Thank you for recognizing Chris, your aide. I'm sorry to see him go. He was instrumental in helping us get out of the committee the Kids Online Safety Act and Kids Online Privacy Protection Act. Unfortunately, they didn't get across the finish line.
We're going to do it this year.
So that's good to hear your
get it done
commitment
this
on
year.
that.
Top priority.
There were a number of things out of the subcommittee that were stripped out at the last minute at the end of the Congress, and I hope we can get back to working on those expeditiously. But I know we're gathered here today to talk about AI and advanced manufacturing, and it just seems like it's vital that we continue to build on the success of the past few years, and Dr. Reynolds highlights a lot of the progress in her testimony. She says, the U.S. has made significant strides in the past few years to rebuild these capabilities with largely bipartisan support in semiconductors, critical minerals, defense, and energy infrastructure, and that the bipartisan infrastructure law, the CHIPS and Science Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, has led to manufacturing, construction spending having been tripled since 2021, $450 billion of private sector investment in semiconductor production over 40 facilities, approximately $80 billion of private sector investment in clean energy across 200 manufacturing facilities, particularly batteries, a crucial area for U.S. leadership in the future, and investments going to all sorts of states. I wish there were more in Florida, but a lot of it are going into the battery belt in the Midwest, and so that's so important to see because of the drain in jobs and offshoring of jobs over the past decades. But this hearing does seem like a big disconnect today because right at the outset of the new Trump administration, they threw a wrench into so much of the progress that we've been making. They illegally shut down loans and grants that, I focus a lot on the Department of Energy. The executive orders and the halt on grants and loans have thrown a lot of the manufacturing sector into chaos. Just yesterday, I had a critical mineral developer in my office. They cannot get answers from the Department of Energy because of the halt in payments. We've had a federal court say, you must continue to disperse these monies. So we're seeing layoffs, business capital pulling back already. So, Dr. Reynolds, are you hearing these same stories here just over the past few weeks?
Thank you for that question and for raising what is a very concerning situation right now in the country. As you said, we've had significant investment, looking at over $1 trillion over the next decade across physical infrastructure, across our digital infrastructure, if you will, and with our energy infrastructure. But these latest steps by the current administration are very concerning. I think first and foremost because what we have are contractual obligations with the backing of the federal government in many of these cases for funds that are expected to flow in many important projects. Right now, there are approximately over 400 clean energy projects that have been announced. They have not yet broken ground, but those plans are in motion, and those companies have been banking on a lot of that funding that is supposed to be coming. A lot of this is really about what we see today, but I think we have to also think about what is potentially lost if these investments do not flow as they have been intended and also passed by Congress. Right now, what some estimates are, certainly recently by Johns Hopkins, is that if the IRA pulls back on a lot of these investments, what we're going to see is foreign countries, including China, stepping in, and that U.S. companies and the U.S. as a whole are at risk of losing approximately $50 billion in annual lost exports, et cetera. So the stakes are enormous. We've already got tremendous momentum, and as you said, many states across the country who are benefiting from these investments, communities in benefiting as well as the workers. So I hope that we're going to see some common ground and an understanding that really we need to maintain some order and continue those investments as we passed them in the past.
Thank you. I agree. I think China is cheering this on. Any wrench that is thrown into building up our advanced manufacturing and AI and progress is to the detriment of our people. Thank you. I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. Now I'll recognize my favorite pharmacist on the committee. I know Buddy's going to kill me
You're
for this.
just.
Anyway, I'm telling the truth.
Thanks,
I
Gus.
recognize you for 5 minutes.